What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Bell Outright Occult Gaming with me, Bell Outright, and today we are continuing our journey into Darksiders Warmastered Edition, and this is the apocalyptic playthrough with the goal of attaining all achievements and trophies in the game, and yeah, we're going to continue playing. So again, I'm going to go ahead and preface this video by saying that this is post-commentary. I did record most of the episodes of this playthrough, but the audio files did get corrupted, or they didn't record right or something. So my particular voiceover audio didn't record in a lot of places. So I have to go over and do commentary like I'm doing now. So this is my second stab at it. Last episode was also post commentary, and I don't think that was particularly bad. So this one should be better as I get more comfortable with the format. But unfortunately, all the initial insights I had about the playthrough are lost. So to recap, what we did last time is we got the Chronomancer, and as far as important things, that's really all we did, because I did waste a lot of time looking for collectibles in Reaver's lair, and it wasn't too many collectibles to be had there, to be honest, but we did make sure to complete the area. And right here we'll find a soul chest, or caskets as the game calls them, but they don't look anything like caskets. So that's just one detail I will not let Vigil get away with. But we're actually heading towards the Ashlands, and our climactic showdown with the Stygian. And now that we have the Tremor Gauntlet, we're able to access many more areas that we were not previously able to, like this area. Another area we could potentially get that high flyer achievement, looks like. Unless I counted my bats wrong, which I might have. Might only been 4. But of course, the best place to get that high flyer achievement is the gauntlet, the challenge in the choking grounds, the challenge arena, which I covered on an earlier episode of this same playthrough. And this is me explaining that there are things that we can't access yet, such as this here, that we'll have to come back to access later once we have the proper means. Using Chronospears. Chronospears hold the power to slow down time. Use Crossblade to activate Chronospears at distance. Slow time to avoid danger or gain access to solve puzzles. So yep, we're just keeping our eyes out for things we can access later, and using the tools we have now to proceed forward. That's really it. And that's pointless right there. They didn't even let you do that. They just closed it right off the bat, made you watch. That was, of course, to demonstrate that it closes really quickly, but it's not necessary to just close it on you. Could let you try it. And during my initial commentary, I mentioned that there was a boss fight in this area, or not a boss fight, but a big fight, and there was only this guy. But what I was actually referring to was a fight from the way back that I remembered, but didn't remember that it wasn't a big fight on the way there, but a big fight on the way back. It's just funny to go back in hindsight and kind of see where my brain was at when I was playing this. And they're being pretty generous with the souls in this part. That's 2 soul chests I got in a row, basically. Right, you hear it. You hear the artifact. These things are pretty loud. And that's gonna be a soldier artifact. Yeah, I'm glad they make those things so loud, so you can always look for them. And this is the dry road. And in the initial commentary I have for this, I also referenced the big fight that doesn't occur until you come back this way. So there are angels here, there are zombies here, but there isn't a big fight technically until you come back later in the game. And we're just doing some damage with the environmental objects so we can get that particular achievement. And I'm at the end of the game. I still don't have that achievement, so it's you gotta kill quite a few enemies with these objects to get that. It's not quite so easy. These are pigeons. I wonder what's up with the color coding for these angels. Because the ones that were in the opening cutscene were gold. Of course, it's kind of an indicator of difficulty, but there's got to be more going on that I'm not aware of. This game doesn't really have a compendium or bestiary. It could definitely use one of those to expand the lore up. Because there's definitely got to be a reason these guys are like the color of souls, basically. Either it indicates their allegiance or a change in state, but I personally am not aware of why they're that color. Wish I did though. I think there'd be a decent explanation to it. Alright, and I was explaining that this is an object we gotta come back to get at the end of the game. There's quite a few of those in the world. And of course we can see it on something invisible. On an anvil, it looks like. But we don't have the means to interact with it yet. So we'll have to come back. And that's me figuring out that's the place I need to go next. This is the place I want to go now. Check some stuff out. Get some more souls. They are being very, very generous with at this point. More currency souls. Trying to see if there's anything below for us to explore, but nah. That's just a way to get back once we hop over here. It's our buddy Vulgrim. And here's where I think I get the rounds in preparation for the Stygian. At least that would have been a smart thing to do, but looks like I maybe didn't do that. I'm not sure. You saw what I wanted. My cursor lingered over the blade geyser. Oh yeah, I probably bought this. Yeah. Harpoon tag was good. Oh look, my buddy Will popped up. Needed to, I don't think I got the message. At least I didn't pay attention to it when I was recording. But yeah, I was playing this anyway. And looking around for secrets. There weren't any here from what I saw. I mean, I think I want another crack at the game. So I had a good time with it. That distance away from that guy. I know he's doing a 3-piece. It's best just to back way backwards if you anticipate the attack. And of course use him to kill all the enemies around you as he's thrashing about. He's gonna attack you immediately as soon as you jump off his head. Not bad. I did get tagged a few times against him. Once or twice, but his lighter hits anyway. Love that. It's probably the best animation in the game. And again, just looking around for secrets. Very wise thing to do in this game because there's so much. There's just so much going on. Yep, and there's our puzzle. I guess. Oh, I didn't figure it out right away what the puzzle was supposed to do. Or maybe what it was, I didn't think that I could make that jump over there, so I tried to push it over there. But yeah, you can definitely make that. Either way. You can make either side. And that's me kind of struggling with the gliding mechanic, which is a little bit finicky, but it's fairly straightforward on this part. You just jump and glide. Yeah. What I try to do is I try to jump and then press the button again, but it's just best to hold down the jump button after you've made your jump. And this is Carnage. War fills with hatred and generates chaos at an accelerated rate. So that's going to be a weapon enhancement. If you good for if you rely on the chaos form, which surprisingly I didn't rely on too much in this playthrough. I used it in areas where I felt like I would take guaranteed damage, but outside of that I didn't use it too much. bouncing around checking for secrets. Man, the sequel's gonna drive me crazy. I just know it because there are secrets everywhere in the sequel. And the areas are so much bigger than in this game. But this game, I like these two games for two different reasons. Well, for many different reasons. Darksiders 1, I love it because it's straightforward. Like, it's like you don't really have to question too much when you're playing this game, and it's great for if you just want to. And that right there is me kind of struggling with the jumping mechanic, which happens quite a bit. The jumping mechanic needed work in this game, and I believe they improved it in the sequel because I don't remember dying or falling quite as much in the sequel. But I do like the games for diverse reasons. Like, this game is straightforward to the point and provides a straightforward action game experience, action platformer experience. Whereas Darksiders 2 is kind of like it is more like a role-playing game, so it feels like that. It feels a bit slower. I'm okay with that, man. And I'm actually very curious about what 3 is gonna overall feel like. Like Fury looks a bit underpowered in 3 compared to her brothers. Like, it looks like it's even more of a slow burn than this one, or than Darksiders 2. Looks more like a Souls game, honestly. Number 3 does. Darksiders 3. But the DNA for at least the first 2 Darksiders games, same DNA, different outcomes, different what do you call it? Different nurture. Same nature, different nurture. Incredible. I gotta play Darksiders 2 again, but I believe I'm a bigger fan of 2, even though I wasn't always a bigger fan of 2. Initially I just kind of left 2 hanging for like a long time. Then I went back to it, and once I got to the end of 2, I really dug what it was doing. I was really into it.
What would you ask of this?
And that's another thing that really annoyed me, is Vulgrim's location always popping up like that. Very annoying. The Ashlands. An interesting place. Somebody was a fan of doing that vigil. Clearly. Yeah, jumping here is not a good idea. Just run. You damn near stop completely when you use the jump mechanic in the sand like that.
Samael wasn't kidding about those worms, and the Stygian's supposed to be the mean one.
And what Watcher's referring to is the fact that those are like the Stygian's kids. They're like Stygian juniors, pretty much. So those aren't the main course. Yeah, now that I've thought about it, I'm actually wondering where the heck these angels came from, why they're like that, why they're blue like that, like pulsating with spirit energy, soul energy. Very curious about that. Maybe they were enhanced to deal with the increased threats from the Chosen and the outbreak of demons, perhaps. But, I mean, these guys are just like electricity, right? Or are they soul energy too? I'm not too sure. A lot of stuff to think about. And this is me deciding to just probably try it out, see what happens if I try to make it over there. Yep. Instant kill. It doesn't say you are dead though. You just simply fail. Because as the cutscene shows, War can clearly slice his way out of a worm or anything really. Try to get that Raven. Ended up owning myself. These are boost gauges, but you actually want to boost up towards the structure. Because doing anything else really just messes you up. Specifically, you want to boost up towards the left. So I want to go the other way. You can use it to get out of there too, if you want to do it like that. But the worm's out there, so you don't want to do it like that. You want to do it like this. You want to get up there, you want to watch out for this blade, because even if you touch it while it's standing still, it will hurt you. Which I haven't tested recently, but my memory is telling me that that's the case. Which, again, my memory's sketchy at best, so I don't know, maybe you can test it out. But now we're lowering the Chrono Spear, so we can use it. And I actually don't know why we want to use it right now. I'm just doing stuff. So I'm gonna go up because I don't really see a reason to use it right now. Break some stuff, get some souls. Just checking some stuff out. We see those glowing orange orbs, and that's something we can't access yet. So just take a note of it. Oh yeah, I do know why we were getting this. I knew at the time too. Yeah, because we needed this to get across. I don't know why it took me so long now to remember it, but. Back then, yeah, that was the whole goal of climbing that structure, to lower that. pretty dope. The worm just took 3 of the enemies with it. Man, I love that that turnaround swing. That thing is great. That thing is really great. And somehow I ended up falling here. Yeah, I ended up not being able to make this jump. But again, that glide mechanic just it's slightly wonky. Like I'm not gonna call it completely wonky, but it could use some work, I would say. It really just should be a classic double jump and then glide. Like you press X twice and then you press X again, and that gives you the glide. But it's you gotta hold the button down, which is in the way it responds is just not very responsive at all. But it wasn't that big a deal to where it broke the game. Just results in a failed input sometimes. See if we get it right this time. We should get it right this time. Only so much failure that even I can accomplish. I like that their weapons are like perfectly made to slide on these things. It kind of undermines the sharpness of the under part of their weapon though. Like they must not be very sharp at the bottom. But they are using like these like kind of like hook axes. Like anchors almost. They kind of look like anchors. It would be painful to get hit by that. Alright, to the next area. Oh yeah, I'll check out the Soul Bridge for a little bit and some of the scenery. And then to the next area. And take a look at the drill. Take a look at what's around us. Take a look at the blade. This one's moving a lot faster than the first one. So we need to figure out a way past it, which of course will involve the time, or chronosphere, that's what they call it. Chronosphere. And don't go anywhere near this drill. The hitbox on it is crazy. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's pretty damn annoying. Alright, got our good old meat wall. And our good old meat wall part 2. We got this guy. See, look at that. Look at that. Barely touching it. And he's just standing right by it, not affected. Okay. We can use our time powers to avoid this blade. I gotta hurry up. The hardest part of that is just like scoping a blade out as you're climbing, because you can't accidentally be hit by it as you're climbing up because you don't see it. I don't know what. I guess it's. No, that's where it lowered to. So I confused myself there. And I'm still confused, even though it's like a week later after I recorded that. Maybe like 5 days later. Right. I record this. I think I recorded this on the 22nd, so only 3 days later. But it's been a long couple of days, man. Okay, just going around on foot looking for secrets or progress or what have you. Exploring, really. See what we got to do next. Got our meat wall. We also got a gliding sphere, air soul sphere, air sphere, whatever you want to call it. And then we have a bomb wall or crystal wall that we need to blow up. Air current, that's what you call this, air current, 'cause that's what it is. Updraft. Air current, updraft. I never really thought about why that's there though. Like, why is that there? What is it? Like, why is any of this stuff here? Like, I never really thought about it from a practical standpoint. This one I decided to have a little fun and go for the environmental kills achievement. But this was pretty annoying because the bomb was like regenerating very slowly, and they had a lot of HP and it wasn't doing a lot of damage. It was very slow going, but it was tedious, but I was having fun. Look at that, I'm taking a lot of damage trying to do this crap. Instead of like lowering their health with the sword and then trying to do it. Like, eventually I'm going to get around to doing that, but it took me entirely too long to figure that out. It takes like maybe 1 second too long to explode, for my taste anyway. Trying to lead them over to him, but it takes just too long to explode. And the pushback is a bit too much too. Places you're trying to hit multiple enemies at once. He's actually killed by the fire, which if you kill him with the fire part of the explosion, then it doesn't count. You gotta kill him with the actual explosion. Or I should say, if you kill him with the fire part of the attack, it doesn't count. There we go. Got them both. Just gonna get this guy. And that's gonna get that guy. lot of hullabaloo for very little payoff, to be honest. But if you want to get that environmental kill achievement easier, your best bet would be to try to do it as you're playing the game instead of waiting till the end. And that's kind of my mantra while I'm playing it, is to just do a little bit as I'm playing, as I'm exploring. Just try to do a little bit of everything. Trying to figure out the puzzle. This part is definitely very simple. All you do is you hit the time, the chronosphere, slow down time, and then you grab a bomb and you run downstairs and chuck it. It took me a bit too long to realize that. And as you hear the machinery of the tower, my gears are also turning at this moment, figuring that concept out. But trying some other stuff just in case. Because the way I think of things is typically I try to do the most complicated thing first, because that's the thing that seems to make sense. But it's always the simplest thing when it comes to this game. The solution's always the simplest solution. Like you're like me personally, I'm thinking the game's trying to be clever, but it's really not. It's really just trying to get you from point A to point B, but it's trying to pace you out. It's not a very long game, so it's trying to do just a little bit extra to pace you out. So just whenever you come across that, just always think about the most simple solution to a puzzle. It's always the most simple solution when it comes to Darksiders 1. 2 might get a little fancy, but 1 keeps it pretty simple. Of course, we lower the chronosphere because why else would the chronosphere be up there? Look at that hitbox, crazy. Yeah, why else would the chronosphere be able to activate to lower than to use it down here? Now I just gotta figure out why, what the purpose is. Looks like I have not figured it out just yet. Actually, I have no clue why I went back up here. Almost got my head taken off because of it. Oh, that's why I went up here, because I wanted the treasures. I probably saw them on the other side of that grate. Yep, that's what happened. I wanted to get them. The life essence, which I did end up using. This is actually the way to the next area too, so past me knew what the hell was going on. Current me doesn't. Current me has no clue what I'm doing here. But yeah, past me, the one I was actually playing the game, looks to have a plan. I have have no clue what that plan is. Like, I don't know how this thing is set up. This thing is here. I gotta use this thing again to get back up there. But I don't get it. But me, that was plan gets it, so let's trust him to do what's necessary. Ah, look, there's a new area. I have no clue how I got over there, but looks like it is. Okay. And this is our way of turning this drill off. And we don't yet possess the means. Once we get back over there, I'll complete that section. That's how we get below. And we don't yet possess the means to get over there. But unfortunately, I didn't even remember that we needed to do that. Because later I have some trouble finding the secrets of this area. Including that. Really, that is the secret I was having trouble getting later on. Because I forgot about the blue orb floating in the sky over there. But yeah, that blue orb is the key to getting that particular artifact, which is the artifact to get in the game. It's the one in the center. There's a lot of these fish in here. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Secrets. And that's going to be another artifact. Soldier artifact. And all artifacts count. I believe soldiers are worth 500. 500 currency souls. Darksiders has some pretty decent swimming controls, which I can always appreciate. Games that do swimming often do swimming horribly, but Darksiders is one of the better ones. The best swimming controls I've ever had the pleasure of using were in Legacy of Kain Soul River 2 and also Legacy of Kain Soul River 1. Those games to this day have the best swimming controls. There is no game that comes close in terms of swimming controls. Those ones give you everything you need, and it helps that the protagonists are immortal, so you can just stay underwater indefinitely. Even so, even without that, the controls themselves are just solid. Alright, and we got an introduction to this puzzle earlier, so now I'm a bit more familiar with it, so I can just go about it pretty simply. And this is a very interesting area. We can see the environmental traps by just looking at the ground. Like we know how to avoid the lurkers above us by avoiding their slime traps. But there's a lot more going on in this room. There's a lot more on that side of the room. There's more above us. There's an opening to the left and there's an opening to the right. It's like almost overload. It's like, where do I go? And we see this trap right here, but we don't see how to avoid it. So immediately I'm confused right here. And I go for it. But of course it's a trap. Should have realized that. They hit them very cleverly up here. So my mind still hadn't clicked yet that what we needed to pass that was time. I'm looking for other means, but I hadn't even considered to use time to fix this issue. I still don't think I considered it even at this point. But there was more to explore, so of course we press on and we get a lifestone shard. Now we got the full set, so we get a whole new health bar. And of course we don't have the means to get over there, but I try anyway. So yep, keep a mental checklist of the orbs that we cannot currently access. And once we were able to, we should come back. But for now I'm still stumped. I don't know really how to proceed forward yet. First thing, I'm going to try to shoot that, noticing those are inert and hoping that the projectile can create a catalyst for an explosion, but that's not the case. And look in this area over here for something, and there's nothing. So looking up here, see if I can get an angle on them. Still haven't figured out that time can be an asset until probably right now ish. Maybe. Yep, roundabout now. It could have well been on my mind too, but I'm just considering all the angles. That's something I am very guilty of. I'll spend a lot of time bam. You got it. Those weird angels are popping up again. Now, one thing I'm disappointed about on this particular part is I didn't use this to grab one of the angels. For some reason, I thought there was another puzzle I could access with that, but that was very mistaken. Could have threw that at one of the angels. Made my life just a tad bit easier. Of course, his hitbox is ridiculous. Mr. Angel. Yeah, that glaive is very satisfying. The crossblade, very satisfying. And I actually need to clarify one of my earlier videos. In one of my earlier videos, I kept saying that Dark Sector, the game that likely this crossblade was inspired from, I kept saying that it was the precursor to War Path. I actually meant it was the precursor to Warframe. So that's one thing I noticed as I was editing that video. Is that I kept saying Warpath. I said Warframe like once, but after that I kept mistakenly saying Warpath. When I still believe that that same company makes both Warframe and Warpath, they are completely different games. So the link is a Dark Sector and Warframe. Those are the two games that are linked. Dark Sector is like the spiritual progenitor of Warframe. And Dark Sector is of course another game that this game was inspired by. Clearly, like you can really see it in the way War holds the glaive with the third person camera. It is so clear that it was the team obviously thought that was like the most badass weapon, which I don't know, it is. I'm gonna have to give Dark Sector a play. But we are approaching the end of this episode. I believe I'm gonna end it once I get out of here. Yeah, because this was pretty long in my opinion. I'm gonna grab this and then I think I end the episode. So let's see what I do. Alright, we got some more gameplay, looks like. Yeah, these ladies hit hard, but I hit harder, and they're nothing compared to their end of the game counterparts. Yep, and that's why you level up Blade Geyser, because it makes your life so much easier. Just invincibility frames changes the whole landscape of this game, but you get a lot of damage from that move too, and a lot of coverage. Like they hit far around you. And see, this is when I typically use a chaos form when I'm surrounded by hard-hitting enemies, and they don't wait. Like even if they're off your camera, they're gonna hit you, and these particular enemies do a lot of damage. So yeah, chaos form is very much so necessary. It's either that or you spam a Blade Geyser, but why spam a Blade Geyser? Why not use all your resources? Yeah. So I'm thinking we are nearing the end. Yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna be the end, so. Yep. So, thank you guys for watching this episode. Take care and enjoy your day, guys. Thank you very much. Or maybe not yet. Maybe we're gonna peace out after we break the boxes. know when we peace out. It's once we get to the area where we're locked. Where we get locked in. Look at that. That's pretty neat, nifty. Like just seeing the worm, just seeing him traverse the desert. That's pretty dope. Love that. I wonder where the first concept of the sandworm came from. Because it's fairly popular. You see it in a lot of fiction. Did it start with Dune, or was it in something before Dune? Because worms, you know, they require moisture. So where did the first sandworm come from? Alright, here we go. Now this is going to take us to the end of the episode. So appreciate you guys stopping by, but this time really is the end. So take care, everybody. Till next time.